Hello friends. A very happy Women's Day to all my friends and a very happy supporting day to all the men who are also attending this lecture and pampering their wives, sisters and mothers. So my today's topic is 5 secrets of happiness. Friends, do you know that 50% of the happiness is in our control? 50% of the happiness is genetic. And still, we find India ranking 140 on the happiness index. So the question lies, what makes us really happy? We mostly don't actually know what is happiness. We mostly confuse it with pleasure. Pleasure is something that is very temporary, and it is because of something that we have done externally. While happiness is more fulfilling, it is a state of mind and it is purely in your own control. So what's the first secret? 82 years ago, the longest study on earth started. It was by far the costliest study. Billions were invested in this. 4 psychiatrists have already died during the course of the study. What was it all about? It was conducted on 724 Harvard men. Half of them were from the elite class and half of them from the lower class. They were studied through war, through growth, through family, and they were all asked one question. The question was, what makes you happy? Over the course of 82 years, what did we find during this happiness project? Today, only 60 of them are alive. And we learned that the most important thing that will give one health and happiness is, some of you might have guessed, some of you would have thought it's love, it's contentment, it's peace, or maybe it's, charity. But friends, the results were, yes, surprising. Because they found out that it's not money, it's not things, it's not what we do for ourselves. It involves good and meaningful relationships. That is what makes us really happy. So the secret number 1 of being happy is have good relationships. Today we love things and we use people. So to become happy in the real sense, we'll need to focus more on people than on things. It's not important what car you own. It's important where, what you use it for. It's not important how big your house is. What is important is how much happy moments you have had with it. It's not how much money you have, but what is important is how you have used the money. Have you used it to acquire material stuff, or have you spent it on experiences and giving meaning to your life? So happiness in real sense is when we do seek pleasure, but along with it, we also see that pleasure seeking is converting or is adding to some meaning of our life. So if you have good relationships, good family, friends, marriage, then you will be more happier. You will live healthily. You will be more successful. And you will live longer. Once a wife asked her husband that you had promised you will love me entire life, it was a couple in their 80s, and the husband was like, yeah, I did promise, but I wasn't thinking of living so long. So, but today's scenario is a little different. You'd say, yes, I have, 2,458 FB friends, 4610 Insta followers, 55 WhatsApp groups. But friends, these are not what are counted as good relationships. How many friends do you have whom you can call at 2 a.m. at night and they just come at your house and listen to whatever is distressing you? So मैं कहती हूँ कि हम आज साथ में हैं, पर एक दूसरे के साथ नहीं. We are getting lonelier. Social studies say that decade earlier, we used to have 3 best friends, but now, after the digital era, we only have 2 friends, 2 best friends, every one of us. So And science says that loneliness is a disease. It equates being lonely to smoking 15 cigarettes daily. Doctors per se are each other's competitor, and that's why they are more lonelier, and we see that unhappiness and mental illnesses like depression, anxiety, suicide are far more in medical profession there as compared to other professions. So who will be there for you? I call this the 108 friend. You know, who will be there for you when you have that heart attack, or when you just collapse at, 4 a.m. in the morning? Who will be there, sitting, holding your hand and telling you that, don't worry, I am there. So friends, doctors, never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Give meaning to your life. I tell people that, your patients may find another doctor, but your family won't find another you. So please spend time with your family. Please invest into making friends, and see to it that you use your time meaningfully forming good relationships. Coming to secret 2, always try to help others. Don't work for applause, work for a cause. Richard Cumberland very rightly says that it is better to wear out than to rust out. I tell people that journey to help others is not very easy. It's something like Nida Fazli says, कि सफ़र में धूप तो होगी, तुम चल सको तो चलो, एक दूसरे को गिराने के बजाय तुम संभाल सको तो चलो. यूं ही नहीं रास्ते अपने आप बदलते, यूं ही नहीं रास्ते अपने आप बदलते, तुम अपने आप को बदल सको तो चलो, तुम अपने आप को बदल सको तो चलो. रूपाबेन ने अभी ही ऑर्गन डोनेशन पे लेक्चर दिया, और बहुत ही ग्रिम स्टैटिस्टिक्स हैं इंडिया के. वी आर द काइंड ऑफ नेशन कि जो चीज़ हमारे कोई काम की नहीं, जो मिट्टी में मिल जाने वाली है, हम वो भी किसी को देने को तैयार नहीं. तो इट इज़ वेरी वेरी सैड सिचुएशन, एंड नो डाउट वी आर ऑन 140 रैंकिंग ऑन हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स. सो फ्रेंड्स, ट्राई टू हेल्प ईच अदर. It may not necessarily be in terms of, giving money or doing charity. It can be by means of some actions or helpful deeds. It can be in terms of words. I remember I've been practicing since the last 10 years, and yeah, the initial years were okay, but then I, started feeling a little something missing in my life, and then I realized that I am not doing something for my society. I'm not giving back. I'm just taking. And that is when I started associating with social organizations, and it really changed my life. It made me more happier, more satisfied. I became more calmer, and yes, it has professionally also helped me become a better psychiatrist. So friends, it's not necessary. You could help with your time. You could help by contributing some money or things, or even in terms of prayers. So it's said that we rise by lifting others. Some examples of people who are really not as blessed as we are, but who do really good charitable work, and let's get inspired from them. This is Venkataraman. He serves 5 rupees lunch since the last 5 years. This is our own Beena Rao. She has been teaching slum children for free since the last, 20 years, and she's educated 500 students till now. Sindhutai Sabkal, we all know that she is the mother to the orphans. There is Jadhav Payang. He, doing charity doesn't need money, and this is an excellent example. Since 16 years, he has been planting trees, and he has since then, planted an entire forest, which is helping animals thrive and survive this, strange world that we people have converted into. This is Kalyan Sundaram. Yes, we know he's a 74-year-old librarian, and he contributed his entire lifetime's earnings, which was in crores, towards betterment of poor people. So friends, I hope that in some small way we adopt this second secret of helping each other, and make not only ourselves better but also the society better. Third secret is no secret. It's meditate daily. We feel that happiness is something that has to be worked on the outside. So I have to improve my family situations, or I have to earn a lot of money, or I have to work on myself. But the secret of happiness is that it's an inside job. It's if you will realize the day your mood is not good, it brings about changes in your environment also. You're not a good boss that day, you're not a good doctor that day attending to your patients, or you're not a good husband or father. And the day you are calm or happier, yes, it changes things outside also. People are happy seeing you. They smile when they see you, you are happy. So I say, happiness is like a perfume. You can't help it, you're going to spread it. So be very careful what kind of perfume you have applied today and always. So meditation is one thing, the single most very relied upon thing that ensures that our mind is calm, peaceful and happy in real sense. So a lot of you would not be knowing what meditation is, but it's a very simple form of focusing on something. It's a higher form of concentration, that is it. Nothing very fancy or nothing that you have to, do or set aside time for or need a procedure. You could use any of your senses to help you focus. It's said that you should sit in meditation for at least 20 minutes daily. Unless you are very busy, then make it an hour. Meditation can be done using any of the sense organs. If I'm using my eyes, I could just focus on a faraway dot or a tree in the nature. If I'm using ears, I could focus on music, or I could myself utter some mantra or bhajans and concentrate on it. I could use my, the sensation of touch by using a mala. I could use, aromatherapy. We all know how popular it is. I could use some nice calming smell and focus on it and meditate. Or I could meditate even while eating. What meditation does is that, it's like what sleep does to our body, meditation does to our mind. So it calms us down. You constantly use our mind throughout the day. You'll be surprised, we think almost 70,000 thoughts every day. And after the digital era has come, it has become 90,000. So when are you going to rest your mind? Because if it's not rested, it is prone to get irritated, it is prone to get stressed out, and it's prone to get unhappy. So to calm your mind, when you get up in the morning, do 10 minutes of meditation. When you go to sleep, do 10 minutes of meditation, and you'll realize over a period of even 21 days, studies have found out that it has changed the size of hippocampus. The hippocampus is the seat of emotions deep inside our minds. So, modern psychiatrists and psychologists and gurus have made meditation yet more simpler, and they call it mindfulness therapy. They say no need to use any particular sense organ or focus to meditate or to concentrate. Why not just put all our senses into what I'm doing? So if I'm eating, why not smell the food? Why not see the food? Why not hear how I'm chewing it? Why not smell it? Why not focus on its taste? And when you're doing it wholeheartedly with all your energy, all your presence of mind, you're in the here and now, obviously your mind is going to get rested and it is going to get calmer and peaceful. Secret number 4, very popular one, tension lene ka nahi. See, the word itself has tension lene ka nahi. In the sense, हम tension लेते हैं, हमें कोई tension देता नहीं. So, avoid creating stress. Look at the use of words. We create stress. How? By creating, we destroy our happiness. I have this very nice analogy for how we create stress and how we behave or how we respond to our, how we react to our daily situations. So, it's a comparison between a Coke bottle and a water bottle. How is the Coke bottle? You shake it a little and it it oozes out, it explodes. And how is the water bottle? You shake it how so much ever, it will stay calm and peaceful. So it is analogy for proactiveness and reactiveness. If you are cool and calm, no matter what is happening outside, you are proactive. But if small things that happen outside your control or outside your environment or outside in your life, and if you are like the Coke bottle, you're going to react. And every time you're going to react, you're going to ooze out negative energy. A lot of us can define these differences and at times realize it also. But we don't realize that we have the power of choice. Every single day we make a choice between whether we want to be proactive or whether we want to be reactive. And this choice is a very small pause between the situation that has happened and the response that we are giving. What do we choose between this pause is what will make us, proactive to reactive, or a water bottle to a Coke bottle. We choose or we make better choices when we choose things that we can control. A lot of times you will see that we focus our energy on things that we cannot control. Like the number of patients maybe, or how people are responding to you, or how the market is going up and down, or how is the political situation, or whatever. Take for example coronavirus. It is something that is beyond our control, but we're still trying to control it, and it makes us stressful. So if I want to give you a very simple formula to become proactive than reactive, I would say that focus on not your past mistakes but on your future, where you can apologize, you can forgive others, you can try again, you can start over, or you can even admit your mistakes. Trying to control someone else makes us more reactive. Rather, let's become proactive and control ourselves. What about us we can control? We can control our thoughts, our actions, our choices, our reactions, and our future. But most of the time what we see is that even though we are reactive, even though we are in tension, we are stressful, we tend to choose to lie about it. And we say, kem cho, and every time the answer is majama. We never ever become self-aware of our own state of mind or even reveal it to anyone. So when we are in stress for very long, it starts affecting the chemicals in your brain and may even lead you to suffer from depression. Depression is something that involves getting depressed, having loss of mood, low concentration, there is change in the sleep pattern, there is change in the hunger pattern, there is low energy and fatigue. You have negative thoughts about yourself, the future, the world. When this increases, it starts affecting our self-esteem, and we get thoughts about feeling worthless, feeling hopeless and helpless. And when this becomes very severe, we even think of, how worthless this life is now to me, and why not just get rid of it and commit suicide or start having suicidal thoughts. So my message with this is that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay if at times you get stressed or even depressed, but what's not okay is to suffer in silence, to hide it, to not try or not ask for help. Coming to the last secret. The last secret is keep your attitude positive. Happiness depends on how you perceive things. Let me give you an example. It's a small incident that involves a cockroach. So there was a lady who went to a restaurant and she ordered some food, and while the waiter was bringing her order, a cockroach landed on her shoulder. Now she got very terrified and distressed, and she started screaming, "Oh, remove this," and she started doing all this, weird movements because she got really scared because of the cockroach. Now, while this waiter, our waiter saw this while he was bringing the order, and he very calmly came, he just lifted the cockroach and threw it outside the window. Now, if we analyze this situation from the point of view of the lady, her behavior was she was screaming, and her feelings were that she was anxious and terrified and afraid. Can you all guess what her thoughts would have been? Yes, most of you would have guessed it right, that her thoughts were, okay, this is something very dirty and I want to get rid of it. What if it bites me? Now, if we think the same situation from waiter's point of view, his behavior was that he picked the cockroach very calmly. His feelings were that he was relaxed. He didn't react the way the lady reacted. And the thoughts were that, oh, it's a friend from the kitchen. The gist of this anecdote is that whenever there is any situation in our life, it is our thoughts, the way we perceive that situation, that will determine our behavior and our feelings. And so, when we focus on situations or people, how we focus and how we think about them is what is going to realize how we are going to feel about it. And that's why we say your thoughts decide your happiness. So we don't see things as they are, but we see them the way we think they are. And many times this happens that in relationships we get into conflict because my point of view is different from your point of view, and I think that I am right and you are wrong, and you think that you are right and I am wrong. And what actually the fact is that no one's right or wrong. The thing is that there can be two different rights, and once we start accepting this, a lot of problems in the relationship would stop to exist. So far so good. What's wrong with not thinking positive? What's wrong is that we are not programmed to think positively. We are programmed, our default setting, जब आप मोबाइल बाय करते हो तो उसमें कुछ ऑलरेडी सॉफ्टवेयर होता है, कुछ सेटिंग्स होती हैं वॉलपेपर की, होम स्क्रीन की, उन्हें हम डिफ़ॉल्ट सेटिंग कहते हैं. ऐसे ही जब हम मैन्युफैक्चर हुए थे तो तब भी एक डिफ़ॉल्ट सेटिंग थी हमारे थॉट्स की, एंड दैट वाज नेगेटिव. It was from the purpose of survival, so that we pick up the negative in our environment and we could save ourselves fast. And you will see that that's why many times you are tormented by your own negative thoughts. They could be views about yourself that I'm not perfect, I'm not good looking, I'm not a good doctor, or they could be about the world, that the world is not helpful, it's so cynical, or it can be about our future, that I don't know what's going to happen, I'm very unsure, I'm very afraid of my future. And all this shows, we can make out that people are worried about something, they are thinking negatively about something, it shows. Sometimes this default setting is not changed. We keep functioning on the automatic mode that we were brought in this world, and then it affects our, it becomes a habit to think negatively, and then we invent new patterns of thinking, and some of the most popular ones which destroy, the killers of happiness are like magnification. It's a very psychological term. Any situation, and I see it as if, it has grown tenfold. So suppose there are less patients in this week and I say, oh my God, I'll have to close down my practice down the year probably if things are like this only. Now this is magnifying the situation. Only for a week there are less patients, but we think that, oh my God, what will happen? Second negative mental thinking pattern is that I will never be successful. Fortune telling. हम अपने ही ज्योतिषी बनते हैं. हमें नहीं पता फ्यूचर में क्या होने वाला है, पर हम बहुत ही चाव के साथ प्रेडिक्ट करते हैं कि ऐसा होगा. अभी एग्जाम्स चल रही तो बच्चे बोलते हैं शायद इस एग्जाम में मैं फेल हो जाने वाला हूँ. अभी रिजल्ट नहीं आया पर हमने पहले ही प्रेडिक्ट कर दिया कल का पेपर बहुत डिफिकल्ट जाने वाला है, शायद मुझे कुछ याद नहीं रहेगा. Adults also do it. We doctors, for example, we say कि I doubt whether I'll be able to buy that house, or whether I'll be able to afford that car ever, or whether I'll ever achieve my dreams, become rich, become successful. इतनी मंदी है. So This is so common. So let's not become Jyotishis. Third very common negative pattern is all or none thinking. It's a sort of black and white thinking. So if things are going good, we are very happy that they're going good. But a little something here and there, and we immediately take it as if everything is lost. So if suppose I'm dieting and I happen to eat a piece of cake because today is Happy Women's Day, so we'll be cutting a cake, and the moment I tempt myself into eating it, I say abhi dieting ki chutti ho gayi. See, so many of us, we skip the gym after going regularly, and 1 day or 2 days ka gap hota hai, and after that we don't go because it's all or none. Everything's now, I'm not regular at gym, so you say I won't be able to do it. All or none thinking is like black and white thinking. We say either the situation is completely good, white, or it's completely bad. There is no gray in between. So, we do that in relationships so often. Ki suppose some relative of yours or friend of yours forgot to invite you for a party, and then you get so offended by that one small mistake that पूरी जिंदगी उनसे बात नहीं करते हो आप. सो ऐसे कहते हैं कि रिश्ता वो नहीं जिसमें एटीट्यूड, ईगो और टैक्ट हो. रिश्ता वो है जिसमें एक बोलने में एक्सपर्ट हो और दूसरा मनाने में परफेक्ट हो. तो यस, at times we don't forgive people for small things because of this all or none thinking. Another popular negative thinking pattern is generalizing. So if I have failed twice in a subject, I am already telling कि अब तीसरे बार क्या पास होऊंगा या होंगी, 2 बार फेल हो चुकी हूँ तो तीसरे बार भी फेल ही हो जाऊंगी. या we generalize, someone didn't help you and you say ये दुनिया तो ऐसी ही है, कोई किसी की मदद नहीं करता. या you read horrid stories of how there are incidences where the safety of our girls and women is compromised, and you say कि now the world is not safe for girls. और वन ब्रेकअप, या एक आदमी ने आपको धोखा दे दिया और आप बोलते हो कि पूरा all men are untrustworthy. So these are the negative mental habits that constantly are manufacturing unhappiness, and if you don't become aware of them and if you don't change the patterns, then you are going to keep on manufacturing unhappiness and stress and maybe even depression. So then the question arises that how do we change from being negative to being positive? There's a very nice quote that Gautam Buddha has said, and he says, mind is a beautiful servant but a dangerous master. Now because we have been functioning on the automatic mode, we are functioning on the negative mode. What we forget is that we cannot talk back. We can talk back to our mind. And we hardly do that ever. We can instruct it. So if I'm at a movie theater and there someone's, phone rings and I get irritated, I can tell my mind that the person may be Parul Vadgama and she has a call for some meeting or some award, and I can tell myself that please calm down, it's a small thing, it's a 2 rings, and why am I getting so agitated? So we hardly do that. We never talk back to our mind. We never instruct it to what is right and what is wrong. So, from today start becoming the master of your mind and don't let you become the slave of it. How? Just like, happiness is work, friends. And that's today's breaking news. Just like you cannot reduce your weight in a day by simply saying, I know exercise, I will reduce weight through exercising and dieting, and I'll do it. After 2 days, you say, I don't know why it's not working. It's not working because it has taken so many days and months to gain that weight. It won't go suddenly. Same is with happiness. We have cultivated unhappiness and negative thought patterns over a very long period of time, and that's why to undo them won't happen in a single day. It is like, how we practice positivity consciously and daily, how we lift weight and make muscles. In the similar way, we'll have to, make our brains work towards happiness and positivity by constantly become aware of where we need to change our perceptions, where we need to change the way we are looking at things, we need to remind ourselves every time we look at a half empty glass that it is also half full. And that can be done by becoming aware of your negative thoughts and then converting them to positive thoughts. Like, suppose my mind says you cannot do it, and I'll say, fine, I may not be able to do it right now, but probably if I train myself or acquire some expert's advice or skill, maybe I will be able to do it. Suppose my mind's talking to me, that inner voice is saying, oh, you have made a mistake and how lousy you are, or how, weak you are. So, I need to talk back to it in a positive manner, saying, yes, maybe I've made a mistake, but if I learn from it, it'll cease to be a mistake. Or someday, if I talk about something that I've done, suppose it's this lecture, and say, it wasn't so good enough, and I'll say, fine, no problem, there are many opportunities where I can still better my work. So friends, with this, we come to the end of this talk on secrets of happiness. I would just like to summarize it before I show you a video, that think positively, exercise daily, eat healthy, work hard, stay strong, worry less, dance more, love often, and be happy. There is a small video. It is not exactly on happiness, but it's a very, very cute message from a grandfather for his grandson, and he writes down all the gist of his life, and it involves a really very nice principles of how we can be happy, how we can live our life more fully, how we can focus on meaning more than pleasure, and how we can make this world a better place. I hope that next time we better get a better ranking at the happiness index. We are the people who watch Tarak Mehta and Kapil show so much. So here's this video. It's called Khat.
प्यारे मुन्ना, इस दुनिया में तुम्हारा स्वागत है। ये बहुत ही सुंदर, अनोखी और प्यारी जगह है, और तुम्हें इसे और भी सुंदर और भी प्यारी बनाने के लिए भेजा गया है।
हाँ पापा, नहीं अभी नाम नहीं सोचा है। हाँ इधर ही है, कल डिस्चार्ज हो गया। पापा आप कुछ बोलिए ना अपने से। आप कुछ बोलेंगे, ये लीजिए, बात करिए।
प्यारे मुन्ना, इस दुनिया में तुम्हारा स्वागत है। ये बहुत ही सुंदर, अनोखी और प्यारी जगह है, और तुम्हें इसे और भी सुंदर और भी प्यारी बनाने के लिए भेजा गया है। भेजा किसने? ये आज तक कोई नहीं जान पाया, और शायद जान के कुछ हासिल भी नहीं होगा। इसलिए ऐसे सवालों पर अपना समय बर्बाद मत करना। हम सबके पास एक सीमित समय होता है, और जितना भी हो कम ही होता है। इस दुनिया
हाँ पापा, नहीं अभी नाम नहीं सोचा है। हाँ इधर ही है, कल डिस्चार्ज हो गया। पापा कुछ बोलिए ना मुन्ने से। आप कुछ बोलेंगे, ये लीजिए, बात करिए। सोचा है। हाँ इधर ही है, कल डिस्चार्ज हो गई। अब आप कुछ बोलिए ना मुन्ने से। आप कुछ बोलेंगे, ये लीजिए बात करिए।
प्यारे मुन्ना, इस दुनिया में तुम्हारा स्वागत है। ये बहुत ही सुंदर, अनोखी और प्यारी जगह है और तुम्हें इसे और भी सुंदर और भी प्यारी बनाने के लिए भेजा गया है। भेजा किसने? ये आज तक कोई नहीं जान पाया और शायद जान के कुछ हासिल भी नहीं होगा। इसलिए ऐसे सवालों पर अपना समय बर्बाद मत करना। हम सबके पास एक सीमित समय होता है और जितना भी हो कम ही होता है। इस दुनिया में इतना कुछ है देखने को, जानने को, महसूस करने को कि तुम्हारे पास थोड़ा भी वक्त नहीं है बर्बाद करने को। संभावनाएं असीम है। तुम कुछ भी बन सकते हो, कुछ भी कर सकते हो, इस दुनिया को बदल सकते हो। हर दिन कुछ नया करना, कुछ नया सीखना, कुछ नया समझना। और अगर कभी किसी काम को लेकर मन में दुविधा हो तो याद रखना, ना करके पछताने से कहीं बेहतर है करके पछताना। क्योंकि कोई काम करके अगर कुछ और ना भी मिला तो तजुर्बा मिलेगा और वो बहुत ही कीमती होता है। हर चीज का तजुर्बा करना, लेकिन किसी भी चीज की आदत में डालना। तजुर्बे तुम्हें सही और गलत में फर्क करना सिखाएंगे, गलतियां करने से बचाएंगे। पर गलतियां करने से डरना मत। गलतियां वही करते हैं जो कुछ करते हैं। अपनी गलतियों की जिम्मेदारी लेना, उन्हें सुधारना, दूसरों की गलतियों को माफ करना, उन्हें उसे सुधारने का मौका देना। कोई जानबूझकर गलती नहीं करता, कोई जानबूझकर बुरा बर्ताव भी नहीं करता। किसकी जिंदगी में क्या चल रहा है ये कोई नहीं जानता। इसलिए सबको वही मौके देना जो खुद को दोगे। सबसे उतनी ही नरमी बरतना जितना खुद पे बरतोगे। सबकी इज्जत करना, सब पे भरोसा करना और सबसे प्यार करना। इस दुनिया में प्यार की बहुत कमी है बेटा, और सबको इसकी बहुत जरूरत है। तुम्हें भी होगी। मांगने में हिचकिचाना मत और दिखाने में झिझकना मत। जिंदगी बहुत छोटी है। शर्म के लिए, संकोच के लिए आए ना आए, जी खोल कर नाचना, गला फाड़ के गाना, मन भर के खाना, खुल के हंसना और जोर से रोना, जैसे तुम अभी रो रहे थे फोन पर। बस शरीर से ही बड़े होना, मन से नहीं। जिस दिन अंदर से ये बचपना गया, ये मासूमियत गई, उस दिन समझो जिंदगी गई। भविष्य के बारे में सोचना पर चिंता मत करना। बीते दिनों को याद करना पर उन्हें खो मत जाना। जिंदगी में कुछ अच्छे दिन आएंगे, कुछ बुरे। अच्छे दिनों में घमंड करना और बुरे दिनों में हताश ना होना। सफलता का सारा श्रेय खुद को मत देना और असफलता का जिम्मा दूसरों पे मत थोपना। बेटा बस आगे बढ़ते जाना, खुशियां बांटते जाना और ये जरूर याद रखना कि तुम्हें यहां सिर्फ एक ही कारण से भेजा गया कि तुम इस दुनिया को और भी सुंदर और भी प्यारी जगह बना सको। ढेरों आशीर्वाद के साथ तुम्हारा दादा।
Thanks for watching the video. If you like our work,
So friends, these were the 5 secrets of happiness and the gist of it told to us by this very, very nice and gentle Dadaji. Let me just summarize. The first secret was have good relationships, focus more on people than on things. The second was try to help others. Helping others creates happiness from inside, which is more important. Third was कि टेंशन नहीं लेने का, देने का भी नहीं. Fourth was that focus on positive thinking. And fifth was that always try to be mindful and meditative about what you're doing. So friends, with that, thanks a lot for patient hearing and being on that side of the wire. Happy Holi and have a safe Holi. Please take care of yourself. Thank you.